press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello my dear students, how are you all? Okay, so we had started a new chapter, right? It is regarding federalism. We have already discussed about what is federalism, how is it helpful. We have already discussed about this, linking it with other stories, right? Like in power sharing, what had happened, how the two countries, that is Belgium and Sri Lanka, how did they share the power and all we had discussed, right? We did come across so many things here. We came across the stories, right? How in the form of stories we did learn many things. So here we even did learn about what is federalism and what are the features and what makes India a federal nation. We did discuss about all these things, right? So today let us know how it is practiced, okay, because it is very much important. See, when we say that India is a federal nation, we even mean that India is a democratic nation which is following the federalism, right? So how they are practicing it, how it is practiced, let us know about the practicing of the federalism here. Okay, how it is practiced, let us know about that particular thing. As you all know, constitutional provisions are very much important. We give much more importance for the constitutional provisions. How important it is? We give much more importance in such a way that whatever laws, okay, whatever laws in connection with the constitutional provision, we always prevail, like the constitutional provisions always prevail over other laws, right? So that much of importance is given when it comes to the constitutional provision. So is it only because, no doubt, like for federalism also your constitutional provision is very much important. It has contributed equally, it has given its contribution towards federalism. But is it only the constitutional provisions? Is it only the constitutional provision that has made the federalism successful? No doubt it has joined hands. It has contributed its maximum thing towards the federalism. But is it only the constitutional provision that has made federalism successful? Definitely not. It is not because of the constitutional provisions the federalism is successful. No doubt it has given some contribution, no doubt in there, but it is the democratic politic. Okay, what is this democratic politic wherein we totally depend upon democracy? Okay, as you all know, we have already discussed about democracy, democratic politic. What do you mean by democratic politic? Nothing but here people are allowed to choose their representative. They have all the rights to choose their representative. So when the right has been given, when they have got all the rights to choose their representative, it means that they are following adult franchise. So nothing but through election they can choose their leader here, they can choose their representative. So this particular thing, nothing but the democratic politics has contributed more and more and made this federalism very much successful. For the success, it is not only the constitutional provision, but even the democratic politics has equally contributed towards the success of the federalism. So the democratic politics, it is concentrating upon certain things. What are those things? That is spirit of federalism, okay, spirit of federalism. So nothing but how federalism should be, how federal a nation has to be, how it has to be practiced. So it is keeping it awake, okay. In a democratic politics, it is keeping the federalism awake so that no person faces any loss there. Next is respect for diversity. As you all know, India is a nation wherein we can find unity in diversity. There are so many languages, so many culture, but even then we have this unity, right? So respect for diversity, nothing but though there are so many different kinds, different culture, different religion, but even then we do respect the diversity, and that is because of the democratic politic. We respect people, so that is where we respect even the diversity. It upholds the living together. Okay, democratic politics always wants its nation, its people to live together. Okay, so that is what is being said here. So respect for diversity and desire for living together. So they have to live together, people have to live together, and not only that, these have become the ideals, okay, for the democratic politics, and to make the federalism very successful, these have become the ideals, that is spirit of federalism, respect for diversity and living together. So there are few things apart from this, like there are few things that has contributed towards the federalism. So what is that? Let us look about the things which have like major ways in which this contribution has happened, or say federalism has become successful in nature. Very first thing is linguistic state. What is this linguistic state? See, creation of linguistic state was a major thing. Okay, it has become a major test for democratic politics, that too from the year 1947 to 2017. If you consider this particular like era, or say like these years, you can find there is much more drastic change in the states. So how this is possible, or how this was made possible? There are many addition and deletion of states. As you all know, states were added, they were deleted, they extended their boundary, they got deleted their boundary, they gave up certain the places, right? Still there are fights going on to occupy certain boundaries, to extend certain boundaries, right? So these, you can see that there are certain changes, or say there are many addition and deletion of the states here. So we can see many old states that have vanished and new states have emerged. So this is the fact. All the old states have emerged. As you all know, Karnataka also once it was called as Mysuru Rajya, right? It was called as Mysuru state. Now it has been called as Karnataka, right? Yes. So when it comes to this, old states have vanished. Okay, the names have been changed. Bombay to Mumbai, right? Calcutta to Kolkata, right? Madras, again that has been changed, Chennai. So all these things, they have changed many of the things here. So new names have emerged here, and even the area has changed boundary. Either it has decreased or say increased, and the names of the states have also changed. No doubt, this we have come across many a times. So now, how was this possible? How is this possible? The linguistic state, it speaks about the language here. Most of the states have come with the amount of same language speaking people. So Karnataka, we have Kannadigas, the people who speak Kannada, they are more in number, right? As we speak Kannada, as we know Kannada, we all have come under one roof. So new states were to be formed by changing boundaries of the old state. This is nothing new in this, right? So you have to change the boundary there. Now Telangana was formed, recently Telangana was formed, right? Wherein it got emerged by occupying certain boundaries or separating itself as a new state from the old state. So that is how they choose their boundary, they extend their boundary, or say they come up with a new boundary. So it was done to make the people stay in the same state who spoke same language. As I told you, most of the boundaries were decided on the basis of the language itself, the language they speak. So people who spoke the same language were allowed to stay in the same state. So linguistic language, on the basis of language, states were formed. There are even different states, okay, that were created not on the basis of language but the recognition, okay, to recognize the difference between or difference upon the culture, religion or ethnic or say geography. So probably they wanted their own what I can say recognition, they wanted to get recognized. For example, Nagaland, okay, so wherein they have their own culture, own ethnic. It is not on the basis of language, they did not come across the language there. See, Nev, if you consider me, okay, or say some other person, they may not be a Kannada like the one who speaks Kannada. He might not, the person may not be speaking Kannada, but even then he belongs to Karnataka. Nev, only because they know Kannada, they might be taken up as to the this particular place. So on the basis of language, they came up with new states. They did form new states, but there were other forms also wherein they did frame the states. For example, to have their own ethnic rules or say own culture, or probably they wanted to uphold their culture. It was not about the languages there. They never cared about the language, but yes, ethnic. Okay, their culture, their religion, or say their ways of their geography. On that basis, they did frame or they did form their state. So the demand to form the state on the basis of language had a great demand. Okay, on the basis of this states. Okay, like on the basis of the same languages. Same language speaking people, they were supposed to stay in one particular place and forming linguistic state. Okay, forming this kind of state was or having much more demand compared to other kind of states, but it increased a fear. Okay, it created a fear among the leaders, saying that this would disintegrate the value here. Okay, because only same language speaking people are allowed to stay, or if at all you are planning for such a kind of thing, then it would be very difficult to, or it would create one or the other problem. There might be the state might start fighting with each other because of the languages here, right? So that was the thing wherein leaders felt that linguistic state may not work very well, but in actual it helped the nation to remain united, making the administration very easy. But in actual what happened, this really did help. Okay, this linguistic state wherein people came with yes, people with different kinds of languages, wherein they have had this kind of thing wherein like same language speaking people, let them be within one particular area, one particular boundary, and on that basis they started framing their own state. So when this happened, when this started happening, what happened? So that itself was called as linguistic state, but there was a fear, right? It was making these leaders get scared that on the basis of the language there might be some fights and all. But in actual, framing of or forming of state, okay, forming of state on the basis of the language was quite very helpful, because it made the administration very easy, first thing, and people set united. You could see that people were united. So that was the thing, that was the reason, linguistic state started gaining much more importance there. So that got much more importance. The second one wherein the federalism has helped, or say the second most important thing which has helped to have a successful federalism is language policy. So constitution did not give any, do we have anything called as a recognized language, just like Sinhala in Sri Lanka? Do we have any such a language which has been officially officially recognized as the language of the state? Do we have anything as such? Forget about Karnataka, like in this, what I can say, Maratha, Maharashtra, all these things. No, I'm not talking about that. When it comes to India, do we have any official language as such which has been taken as a, or say which has been given much more importance here? Rather, we do not have any kind of, or say rather constitution did not give any status of national language to any one language as such. Okay, constitution never gave. Okay, so the second test for Indian Federation is the language policy, and constitution never gave any status. Okay, it never gave any status for or say any for national language to any one language, saying that yes, this language would be the national language. Yes, there is an official language which gained importance, that is they considered Hindi as an official language, no doubt. Hindi started gaining much more importance, but there were only 40% who is to speak Hindi. So there was safeguarding other languages also equally important, and as you all know, people speaking Hindi, if you are finding it very less, so then it's of no use that see, when it comes to Karnataka, most of the people, they don't know Hindi. Most of the people. If I speak in Hindi, you may not understand it. Few people may not understand it. So though you are studying Hindi in your class and all, people know their tongue will not get twisted because of the language. So 40%, only 40% speak Hindi. So that was again a difficult task. So taking up that particular language was again a difficult task. So safeguarding other language was also equally important. No doubt Hindi, they had taken the language as an official language, but safeguarding other languages also was equally important. So there are 21 languages in India, and government works takes place in official language of the concerned state. See what happened? There are 21 other languages which were supposed to be safeguarded, and leaders were cautious to spread Hindi. Okay, they wanted Hindi to be spread like anything. But what happened? And they wanted English to be stopped from year 1965. Under the constitution itself, they said that we have to stop English. But few people, they did not want. Okay, so non-Hindi demanded for English. They said that, see, however, official language you have done Hindi, but wherein we being non-Hindi people, we don't understand Hindi, so let English continue. Okay, let English continue. That's the reason today we are teaching in English still. There was a movement in Tamil Nadu related to this. The central government responded by agreeing to continue the use of English along with Hindi as the official language. So because of the movement wherein the non-Hindi people, okay, they said that we need a language policy. We need a language policy wherein only 40% of people are speaking Hindi, and you are making Hindi as an official language and removing English. This is not the perfect thing. We want English to be there, still there. So the government decided, okay, so let English and Hindi be used as an official language. So there was a promotion. The promotion does not mean that the central government can impose Hindi on states where they speak different languages. So what happened? Promotion of Hindi was started by most of the people. They started promoting Hindi language to be the official language, but that doesn't mean that government also has to do the same. And government did not do that actually. Government did not allow others to do that, nor government itself did do that. So the flexibility shown by the Indian political leaders helped our country avoid the kind of situation that Sri Lanka finds still difficult. So say in Sri Lanka, Sinhala's the language that was gaining much more importance rather than Tamil and all, right? And people who spoke Tamil, they were feeling very difficult to learn the other language. So here, India, we do not have, fortunately, we do not have any language, okay, as one language. See, if at all imagine, all of a sudden the central government decides, so let's take Kannada as the official language everywhere. Will the Northeast or other people will be able to speak Kannada there? No, right? It goes very difficult. So on the basis of language, we can see the federalism there, federation. You can see the center and state, they have made a understanding thing. They have made a kind of bonding there. At the center, we do not have any kind of some kind of language wherein which has to be always used. No doubt, we can use either Hindi or say English. But when it comes to the state, they have got different languages. So Karnataka, it is Kannada. Whatever officially you are talking, officially you are having any like what I can say, the kind of trade, or even if at all government works are to be carried out, then the official language of that state will be upholded. So here, does the central government pokes its nose in there? No, definitely not. Right? But yes, English and Hindi is something called as official language wherein both can be used. So English is somewhere we use it for teaching. Okay, Kannada we do speak here and there. Right? So that was again the language policy which has helped, okay, which has actually helped to have a very good democratic politic, or say wherein people have been given importance. Don't you think importance has been given to the people here? Definitely we have given. The reason is people are the one who has to be satisfied. People are the one who should be, whose trust matters a lot. Right? Yes. So, language policy which has again added to the federation, which has added to the federalism. So, because of language policy also we can see that federalism has been successful here. So, though we do not have any official language here, though we do not have any, say official, no doubt we have Hindi and English, but do we have any such language, just like Sinhala to be, Sinhala was taken as the language to be followed by each and every person? Does our government do anything as such? No, they have given an option. With Hindi, you can have English also. So that is where, central and state, they join hands, so they go hand in hand. So the third one is center-state relationship, okay, center-state relationship. See, restructuring center-state relationship matters a lot, okay. So restructuring, already it is there, but again restructure, how to gain much more importance, how to make it successful, it has to be strengthened, okay. The restructuring, federation has been strengthened here. The constitutional arrangements for sharing power depends on how ruling party and leaders follow the arrangement. So no doubt there are so many arrangements done. Okay, there are so many arrangements done, but it depends upon the ruling party how the arrangement they are using, how successfully they are using the arrangement. Now, if imagine if in Karnataka we use Kannada as the official language, right? So whatever they have to communicate, they will be communicating it in Kannada itself. Anything related to government, anything related to government officials, they come up with the notification in Kannada itself. Does our central government object for that? Does our central government any time objects for that? No, it will not, right? So it is having good center and state relationship is excellent here. That's the reason federalism is been working, or say federalism has been upholded here. Okay, the constitutional arrangements. Okay, constitution itself has given an arrangement wherein the power has to be shared between the state and the central government, and the ruling party has to follow the same here, so that the federalism will be successful in nature. So for a long period, same party ruled both at the center and state. Many a time you might have seen, there were few ruling party wherein they did work for a very prolonged time. Okay, they did work for a prolonged time, and they ruled, like both center and state would be the same ruling party, the same party. Okay, so different ruling party at the center and the state, the central government would undermine the power of state government. This Karnataka has faced this most of the time. If at all at the center we have Congress, here we would have BJP, again there would be clash. If at all there would be BJP, we would have Congress here, again there would be clash. If this happens, again it goes very difficult to share the power. So what they want to say is, if at all you have same ruling party, it goes hand in hand, nothing but at the center and at the state, if you have the same government, then definitely you can, the federalism will be successful. But if at all, in the olden days, okay, in the olden days there were certain different ruling parties at the center and the state. At that time the central government would dominate, okay, they would dominate over the state government, they would undermine the powers of the state government. So that was again a difficult task. However, the central government would misuse the constitution to dismiss state government with rival parties. So lowered the federalism. Now because of this itself, the federalism's value decreased as the central government undermined or say it started dominating over the state government. Okay, it started to dominate over the state government. So that the center-state relationship was totally undermined, or say it was totally again losing its importance, because of which federalism also did not work very well. So no single party got a clear majority from few years, so there was coalition government. So what is this coalition government? What happens? See, if at all majority has to be there, right? Majority, the one who gets majority in the election, the seats, the majority seats they win will be called as the ruling party, and the second majority will be the opposition party. Imagine you did not get the majority party there, you couldn't you couldn't form the majority there. So what you do, you join hands with some other people there, right? You join the hands with some other ruling people or say political party, and you form a coalition government. So many a times this coalition government has come into existence, and they with many parties including several even regional parties, okay, to form a government at the center. So this is where the coalition kind of government, okay, coalition government came into existence. And this kind of government, or say this trend was totally supported, and even it has been taken in major Supreme Court decisions, okay, like they have used it, they have made it difficult for the central government to dismiss state governments in an arbitrary manner. So if at all you are using any of the people here under coalition government, you cannot undermine, you cannot take up their power, you cannot dominate over state government. So this is what is being mentioned by the state, or sorry, by the central government, or say by the Supreme Court whenever they have decided certain case regarding coalition government. So when it comes to coalition government, it is nothing but wherein one party could not get any majority there. So what they have done is they have managed to get the majority from other party, okay, other party which is having a bit good majority. With them they have joined hands and they have come up with the new, or say new government as a ruling party. So this is thus federal power, federal power sharing is more effective today than it was in the early years after the constitution came into existence. So early days we have found many, or say much more problems, but with these kind of thing, or these kind of what I can say, the adjustment, the policy, the federalism policy has taken much more importance. So linguistic diversity of India. So we have seen many more languages coming together. So almost there were 1300 languages, okay, distinct languages. Imagine if at all on the basis of language, if you form your what I can say the states, then there would be 1300 states, okay. So what they did do, they started doing a group. Similar sounding languages were taken under one particular group and they did form a state, one state there. So with this 121 major languages came into existence, wherein 22 languages are being scheduled in the 8th schedule of our constitution, and it is called as scheduled language. So what happens, see, like languages like Bhojpuri, Magadhi, Chhattisgarhi, or say Bundelkhandi or Rajasthani, they were considered as Hindi itself. They were grouped as Hindi itself, though they are from different states. Though people have come from different states, they have been taken as one under Hindi speaking. So now what has happened? It has become very easy to distinguish the things there. So now almost 1300 languages. You cannot give one particular language for one state, right? So what they have done, similar kind of languages were grouped under one particular thing. So totally later on, after like 1300 were grouped, we got it as 121 languages. Within that, 22 languages were scheduled in the 8th schedule of our constitution, which is called as scheduled languages, and the remaining languages are called as non-scheduled languages. So you can check out the scheduled languages of India in your textbook, that is page number 22nd, okay, 22, you can check in there. So you can even see how many languages are being given importance, like which stands the major language and all. You can check it out there, okay. So that is all about federalism for today, okay. So we did discuss about how the federalism has been practiced, how linguistic state language policy or say center state relationship has helped to emerge, or it has given importance for the federalism here. So that is all about federalism today. So next class we will be discussing about further more things related to federalism. Thank you so much. Have a great day.